This episode of The Horror Show is brought to you by Joseph Osley. Thank you so much, Joseph. He donated over at patreon.com/IHateHorror. Just a quick reminder, October 6th, 6 p.m. in Salem, Massachusetts at Cinema Salem, we are doing a live show. I think last week I said that we were doing Tremors, all the Tremors movies, but we're actually going to cover Tremors and My Bloody Valentine. We're going to be doing a little different format than we usually do, just because they're going to be watching the movies after. So I don't want to, we're not going to talk about both movies in depth, but I think it's just going to be interesting to see. It's going to be an interesting format. So we're going to try that and see how that goes. And I think we're going to actually, well, I'm not going to tell you all of that. Secret business stuff. Did want to say, though, thank you so much to the Falcon for hosting us for this event, Manos, Hands of Fate in Florida. Thank you so much for Casey for helping us set it up. The Knights of the Pin, you can find them on Instagram. Peachy Collective on Instagram, check them out. Tom, Sarah, Manhattan. Thank you guys all so much for the wild time. That's all I have to say about that. It was fucking wild. I deleted some Instagram stories in the morning. I've never done that in my life. So thank you all so much for the hospitality, and yeah, we'll see you guys in Salem. And so I didn't edit this. I'm not going to edit this episode. It's a little too late. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. And so I'm putting this up as is. There were some technical difficulties, a lot of technical difficulties at the venue. We ended up just basically screaming the episode. So I don't know how it's going to sound. And the beginning is cut off, but not by much. So you'll hear that right now. So enjoy Manos, the Hands of Fate.
Paying attention in class, I was thinking about the adventures of Ash, about the misfortune of sitting kids at Crystal Lake. Became addicted straight away with the initial tape. God bless Betamax. VHS, holy like Amanda Kruger. I was introduced to genre flicks by Toby Hooper. I started craving more just like Larry the Looter. I collected VHS without commentary or bloopers. Store computers, magazines, a bunch of stores. Spent my money on movies and begged my mom for more. I'd watch the boys kill those Astro bastards 5 times a day or even more. I loved the gore. Lionel and Paquita combined their lonely hearts. I was hellbound, Cenobites tore my soul apart. I've seen them all, from Dracula to Vertigo. Listen up, welcome to the Horror Show with Sean and Joe.
He's honestly way funnier than Paul is.
That's the funniest Paul's ever been.
That is the funniest Paul's ever been, and he can't speak.
This big stupid face.
Yeah, so anyway, all right, let's get back into this. Now that there's no feedback, I can actually talk. So so what did we think of Manos, the Hands of Fate?
That is what I asked you, yes.
I think Manos is
Mike's on the
not,
phone.
I know. Go outside. You fucking kidding me? I didn't think it was that bad. I don't think it was as bad as everyone gives it shit for.
No, I enjoyed it.
Like, it's not a bad
It's
movie.
a perfectly good bad movie. No, it's a bad movie.
No, I don't think it is bad.
It's a terrible movie.
I don't think it is bad. I think it's actually pretty good.
That's stupid.
What's bad about it? What's bad about it?
The acting, the editing,
Okay,
the plot. You don't even know who Manos is.
Okay, that's fact. That I don't know who that is. But wait. You said something. Oh,
The acting,
yeah, that's
the
fact.
editing.
Oh, the editing. But there's an excuse.
What's the excuse? That he filmed at 32 seconds at a time?
These guys filmed it 32 seconds at a time, and then they had to stop. Because I don't know why. Was there a
Because
reason?
they're terrible filmmaking.
Because they're just bad filmmakers? That's the only reason? Well, I don't know. I give them credit for doing it for that way.
I give him credit too.
They
That's what I'm
literally
saying.
edited 32 seconds.
I'm not arguing that, I give him credit and it was fun. It still sucks as a movie. Like, a movie is not good.
But it had like a
charm.
It had an end. It had a beginning, middle, and end.
I would argue no.
Man
all three
is so
parts.
mad. Man is so mad. She watched it today and she's like, I
Wait,
hate you.
are you agreeing that it has no end?
Wait, what do you mean? The ending is amazing for what it is.
You don't know who Manos is.
He's a spirit.
It's the name of the movie. Like why was any of this
He's the
happening?
hand. Maybe he's the hand. Maybe he's the hand.
I like that. That guy's fake hand.
He's a hand. Manos
I like
means
it.
hand.
All right, I'm sold. I'm back on board.
So the movie starts off with this terrible slow jazz, which is played throughout the entire movie. From beginning to end, this movie plays jazz constantly, except when Torgo walks around and it's like.
Torgo's music is fantastic.
Torgo's music is not fantastic. It's pretty bad. And then the girl's voice, we meet little Debbie, who's the daughter, and she was supposed to put a sign up so people wouldn't walk in front of us because there's a second entrance in the back. But that's fine. So the girl's voice, Debbie, she's a daughter.
Yes.
Little girl, she's probably about 5 years old. And her voice, everything's dubbed.
Everything is dubbed.
There's
and
no...
it's not synced.
And people's mouths are moving, and there are scenes where everyone's having a conversation and there's no language coming out of the speaker.
So I watched it in the airport. I was like, Sean, nobody's talking, and he was yelling at me, being like, "You fucked it up! Like you fucked up the soundtrack." Blah blah.
I thought it wasn't in sync, like the file wasn't in sync, so I pulled it and I was like, "Let me see that," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's."
It's the movie.
That's
Do I
the
know
movie.
why that's it, Sean? Because it's not a good movie. It's usually a telltale sign.
They had to do what they had to do. My next note was we've watched some very bad movies, but this isn't the worst.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Peter Rottentail. Where does this stand on the Peter Rottentail scale? What was the worst movie we've done recently that was like really bad?
Honestly, like all of them. So I don't remember. What's one that we hated recently?
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm asking them.
Oh.
Dolly Dearest sucked.
Oh,
Dolly Dearest fucking sucked.
Dolly Dearest was way worse than that.
Way worse. I would watch this 100 times over.
I don't know recently, but the only thing that like sticks with me is how much I hate ghost shit.
Lake Placid.
Fuck yourself, fuck ghost shit.
What about Ice? What about Ice?
No, Ice is fantastic.
Ice is perfect.
Ice is great. Yeah.
Do you like Ghost Ship? Oh. Yeah, you're better off that way. Trust me. It's a fucking nightmare. All right, so we open up with the smooth jazz. Family is driving for unknown reasons.
I think they're going on vacation.
They're just driving. They're going to vacation to the desert of El Paso, Texas.
As one does.
As many people do, tourist destination, much like Orlando. It goes Orlando, El Paso,
Have we talked that
LA, Chicago.
Have we told anyone that's listening that we're in Orlando right now?
I think I did at the beginning, but it probably wasn't recording.
Okay.
So we're in Orlando. Welcome to the horror show with Sean and Joe. There's a jazz. So they start driving. The beginning is amazing because it should be a credit sequence because they're showing us B-roll while jazz is playing of just like the desert for like 15 minutes, but there's no credits rolling.
No.
They'll save those.
No, who wants to be fucking credited in this?
They'll save.
No, because at the end it didn't credit either. It was people that restored the movie.
Yes, but they did have like minor credits. Did you though see? You told me that these people were chased out of the movie theater. At the end of the premiere.
They were.
They premiered this in El Paso,
And the director got
Texas,
his ass kicked.
and they chased him out of the movie theater.
Like
and,
dignitaries of the town showed up. It was like a big to-do.
and they beat the shit out of these guys for premiering this movie in El Paso, Texas.
So like apparently while they were filming it, the actors were like, "This sucks. Like these takes are not good." And the director's like, "No, Hollywood magic will take care of everything that's bad."
Hollywood magic. He used Hollywood magic as his excuse, and I think that's phenomenal because all these actors are probably local from El Paso, and they're probably like, "Oh yeah, Hollywood
1966.
Hollywood magic. That's how all the movies are made. How else would they fake a tornado in The Wizard of Oz? In The Wizard of Oz, I was going with The Wizard of Oz. Should have specified. How else would they eventually make Twister starring Bill Paxton? Is that man dead?
He's dead.
God bless his. Hey, where's that in Universal? What happened to Twister? Because no one was riding Twister?
Honestly, oh, that's what's in it now?
Wait, what's in it now? Minions.
No, Jimmy Fallon's shitty-ass ride.
You got replaced by the race Jimmy.
That's where you work?
She just took over.
So
Wait,
we won't edit that out.
no, edit. Yes, it's the finest ride they offer. Yes. Yes, that is such a wonderful ride, and I love Jimmy Fallon. What a great fellow.
The reason we came.
It's absolutely. So they get to this house. They I don't even know what happens, but we meet some couple making out. They have a
And they'll
little
do that quite often.
regularly.
Yeah.
And our guys, they drive past them, right? They bang a right turn at this makeout session that goes on for days.
Yes.
First of all, can you imagine making out with somebody for days?
Fucking nightmare.
The amount of hours they spend making out the first day
And getting nowhere.
is annoying. It's
Exhausting.
It's exhausting. Like I was just like, what is this guy doing? Like,
And
go home.
it happens
Why? And
at
also,
all hours.
he's wearing a wedding ring,
He is wearing a wedding ring.
so go home. You probably have children at home. El Paso. So this family, they go to the house, and they meet Torgo,
Yes.
who will be in this movie for a long time. How would you describe the way Torgo looks?
He look like an asshole.
He's got a beard.
Yes.
He has 4 sets of eyebrows.
He does.
2 sets of 2.
4 total eyebrows.
Making 4 total eyebrows. Yeah. Is that correct? And he's a half a goat, correct? He's a half goat?
All right, so he was supposed to be a half goat, but then the thing I told you that I read is that they scrapped that idea midway through production. So he's supposed to be a satyr. That's why he walked like an asshole.
He's already committed to the part of the goat.
Yeah, but then they were making the prosthetic for his legs, and they decided that they were going to make him a hunchback, but being a hunchback was too
Much character work.
too trendy, so they made the hunch in his knees.
So he's a hunch knee.
Because there's Igor, and they were going to name him Igor, but they went Torgo because it sounds similar.
He's a hunch knee named
Yeah, a
Torgo.
hunch knee.
He's a hunch knee named Torgo. And he was on acid every day.
He wasn't. All right, so when Torgo's talking, I'm like, wow, this guy's actually a really good actor. Like, he's putting everything into this. 'Cause he's twitching, like playing the part.
He was like,
Turns out he was just high on acid.
yeah, he was on acid
day.
every day during the recording. And you can definitely tell because when he talks to the master, who's a terrifying looking individual, like not in the sense of like he's a good villain, like
No, he's a creep.
he looks like a creep
Yeah.
that you wouldn't want to run into on the street. And when Master's yelling at him, he's like, oh my God, like I think this is my last day on Earth, which is pretty close.
He did die shortly after.
Anyway, so Torgo comes. He's walking like this. My notes are prior to Joe's information. Joe told me all this information after. So I have he's walking like an insane person. And that was, I
Both
guess.
are true.
I guess that was on purpose, though. So he helps them with their luggage, which he carries around for the next like 35 minutes, just walking around the house carrying the luggage. And they see this giant painting on the wall.
Yes.
Oh, wait, we should talk about Torgo too for that. Because for the first, like, they spend 15 minutes, the father and Torgo, having a the father and Torgo have a conversation that goes like, Torgo being like, hey, you guys shouldn't be here. And the dad being like, well, hey, Torgo, why can't we stay here? And Torgo's like, just cuz. Like, Master says no, just get the fuck out of here. And the dad's like, well, Torgo, you'll just let us in, right? And Torgo's like, nah, not really. And then eventually Torgo's like, yeah, come in.
Yeah, and this is also the scene where Torgo's mouth moves for like at least 30 seconds, but no voice is coming.
But I think he might have just been twitching.
Well, that would even be more insane, because that's a very long twitch.
And it's also, they didn't have to include it in the movie. No. They could have taken it out.
Also, they were shooting at 32 seconds. So that means at least 30 of those seconds were him not making noise.
So, and that comes into play because it bothered me the whole time that, I don't know, I've lost my train of thought. Torgo, I have ADD, so like noises are bouncing off the walls right now.
So this is not good.
No. So anyway, I don't even know what I was going to say. What were we just talking about with Torgo?
Being an asshole, having hump knees,
Yeah,
opening his mouth without
I don't
talking.
know. We just got to keep going. So there's a painting on the wall
Yes, of the master.
of the master and a blob with 2 white dots on it.
So it's a dog.
It's a dog.
And the mother refers to
can't tell it,
that
dog.
as the most vicious-looking dog she's ever seen.
That dog is the most vicious-looking dog I've ever seen. You literally cannot see anything.
You wouldn't know it was
besides-
a dog.
You wouldn't know. It looks like a shadow with 2 white dots on it. It's the worst painting I've ever seen. It's terrible. After that, they start hearing some howling out in the woods, which is definitely a man going, oh.
Yeah.
It's like the phone ringing.
What movie is that?
I don't
Monster
know.
a Go-Go?
Monster Go-Go, where it's like ring, ring.
Yeah, and the guy's on screen while he does that. That's insane. Why have we not done that movie?
I don't know. Ring, 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 ring. And the guy picks up the phone and is like, hello. So their dog, the family dog, runs out. You actually don't even need to do that anymore, by the way. Okay.
That can't be true.
I hope it's not. I hope you've had better news all day. Probably not, though. So the family dog runs out into the woods. The dad goes outside, finds the mutilated carcass
Of the dog.
of the dog. So something is out in the woods.
Yes.
What is it?
Do we ever find out?
No.
Of course not.
We do not. But they find the mutilated carcass, and the wife comes out and is like, what does she say? She's like, what happened to the dog? And he's like, it's dead. And she's like, oh, God.
Hey, but she's looking at
a
it.
corpse.
It's fucking mutilated.
She's looking at a
Destroyed.
corpse. Also, what happens? The child runs away
Yes.
and comes back with the demon dog. Parents are very upset about that. But this dog leads them to Master's tomb,
Yes.
which is not really a tomb. It's more just like a bed with women standing around it.
They're like frozen.
But they're frozen and like tied to columns.
Yes.
And we will learn that those are all Master's wives. Does Master have a name, or is it just Master?
Pretty sure it's just Master.
It's Master. That's
Mike,
fine.
does he have a name? Master. Master.
The
The
mustache.
Master. The Master.
I don't even know what the plot of the movie is.
Okay. Well, thanks for nothing.
So-
Get me-
So they find these women and a guy laying on a table, and they're like, let's go back to the house,
Yes.
which is insane.
Right.
Also, they have so much time to leave between here and now, and like Master doesn't wake up for like another 45 minutes.
I know.
A lot of jazz, a lot of window peeping.
Yes.
There's so much window peeping where like Torgo is like going to the windows and like peeping through, and then it cuts and Torgo is somewhere else entirely.
His name is Timothy.
That's not true.
That's not true. Nobody's name's that.
Jimathan? Why do you think of these things? So Torgo also a little bit of a pervert,
Yes. He wants to sleep with these sleeping women.
but he also likes to just touch their hair.
Well, he's not human.
He's a goat.
He's,
Do goats like hair?
yes. I
Do
think they
hunchknees like hair?
They always like bite you at the big E.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they
Especially
do
when I
not-
have my long hair.
they do-
I lean too close and take a little nibble.
So maybe that's what it's supposed to be.
What, me?
No, Torgo.
A goat? What are you talking about?
I think Torgo being a goat, maybe that's why he likes the hair, because he just like twiddles it and like puts it near his mouth.
Yeah, but he's not a goat anymore. He's a hunchney.
Well, perhaps these were filmed earlier. So Torgo starts flirting with these girls, right? And,
Well, aren't they sleeping?
yeah, but he's like,
Well, that's not
molesting
flirting.
them.
Yeah, so he's
molesting
raping them.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so he's not flirting. But he flirted with the mom earlier,
Yes, he did.
and she was not.
He
So that
wa-
was
he-
rape too, because she was like, stop. And he was like, whoa, why?
And he talks her out of
honestly-
telling. She's like, I'm going to tell my husband. And he talks her out of telling him so easily.
He's like, well, what if I stop? And she's like, I guess that's
That's
okay.
honestly, that might be what he said.
Yeah.
And that might be how he delivered that line. too.
It was pretty close. He's just like, I mean, I'll just walk to the other room. And she's like,
Okay.
well, I suppose that's all right. Like, now I won't tell my husband.
I mean, there's no way Torgo's been laid ever. So
I mean,
he's all horned up.
he's all horned up.
He doesn't have horns.
Do goats have horns?
Goat's definitely. He's not a fucking goat anymore.
Oh, all right. Horned up. Well, yeah. So So there is a scene with this young couple that's making out again, and it
In the
sucks.
same spot.
Like
No, wait, we didn't talk about the cops always roll up on these people?
Yeah, this is when the cops roll up.
No, but they've done it multiple times.
Oh yeah, it's all.
They're
every
like,
time.
can you leave here? And every time that girl's like, you fucking dick. Like, he's asking nicely 4 times.
They are legitimately. These people are saying things like, huh, why don't you go get something better to do? And the cops are like, what else do we have to do? The cops are like the nicest police of all time. They're like, just please leave. And they never leave.
Never. Well, I think they drove away once.
I don't know. But the second time they come up and these people are like, you keep bothering us. It's like, yeah, because you don't leave. And then you're like, why don't you bother those people down the road? We saw them go down the road. And they're talking about the family.
Right.
And the cops are like,
There's no road.
The cops look.
That's what he said. He
The
said,
cops
there's no
look and
road.
it's like, yeah, no one's down there. And they're like, yeah, there are. And he's like, nah. And then that's the end of the scene. So like the cops don't
They
investigate.
don't investigate.
Because
And
of this.
That happens again later in the movie.
It's literally the end of the movie. The cops are like, hey, did you hear gunshots? And they're like, yeah, it might be from
From Mexico, which is fucking stupid. And then they take two steps and like put their hands overhead in the pitch black.
They're shining a flashlight. It probably went 2 feet. And they were like, yeah, no guns.
Nobody there.
No guns in front of us. That's weird. Must have been from Mexico.
And I did read that was because they couldn't afford lighting equipment. So that was the director's direction to them.
To do what?
Look like they're investigating. And then get back in the car.
So Master wakes up and he starts doing a ceremony, and it is an entire ceremony. Like beginning to end, we watch this ceremony in real time, but it means nothing to us because A, it's not a real religion, and B, we don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
And we never will.
And we never will. He's just talking to Manos. He's just trying to summon.
Also,
I don't even know what he's trying to summon.
Why is he the master? Well, the master of what?
Listen, man, one of the wives gives it to him straight and is like, what are you? You ain't shit.
She does say that.
She's like, Torgo
But then he
fucking
kills her.
She's like, Torgo defied you, dude. Like, I have no respect for you.
Right.
Which I agree with. Torgo is
Kills both of them.
he does.
You're being
kill
very
both.
distracting. What the fuck are you doing?
So Master
Distracting me.
So Master actually talks about when Master wakes up, he's talking to the wives and he's like, should we kill the family? And they have a spirited debate for 10 minutes about the like logistics of killing a child, but they don't want to kill a daughter because it's a female.
Right.
But then most of them are like, yeah, no, let's kill her. So I don't understand. They have no like,
There's only one that's like against it.
oh, is that why she gets killed?
Well, she gets killed.
Slapped to death?
She gets slapped to death because she spoke ill of the master. She defied him. She like questioned him.
What is this movie about?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I thought there was like
You were the one
premise.
arguing like the pro.
I just think there's a lot of filler. I think there's a lot of filler that opens
Listen,
up.
it's a 70-minute movie. If you cut out 60 of those minutes, then yeah, it'd be a good movie. But like 60 of those minutes are fucking useless. There is a cat fight that lasts at least 45 of those minutes.
It starts right now.
That's not even an exaggeration.
It's not. It lasts all movie. The master's like, hey, we're gonna kill Torgo, and I'm gonna kill one of you too on top of it. And then the women go back to arguing about who they're gonna kill, which I don't know why, because Master made it pretty clear that Torgo and this one girl is gonna die. And then this sparks like a world star hip hop level fight on the desert. In the desert, like
Well, the two main girls that are fighting are terrible acting at fighting. Like they don't connect any punches and they
No.
just like flop around. But there's two people in the
There's
background
gals in the back.
where one girl is smashing someone else's face into the sand and like she's not acting. She's just smashing this girl's face into the
there's
sand.
the ones in the back were clearly like, we need to steal this scene.
And they did.
The two girls
That's
in the
all I could
front.
look at. Like
the two, we
this
wanted
girl has CTE.
we
now.
wanted the front one.
Yeah.
We wanted the main shot, but they put us in the back, so we gotta sell it up. And they beat the shit out of each other.
They did.
It's wild. And guess what? They'll fight for the remainder of the movie. Like we'll go
No,
back and
I
forth
wasn't exaggerating.
to like
It was
other
45
scenes,
fucking minutes.
and then we'll come back, and these women are still fighting and rolling in the desert until Master comes back and is like, "Hey, cut it out,"
Yes.
and that's it. And then they're like, "Oh, okay."
We're not even really sure why they're fighting. Other than one of them disagreed.
No, because you know why? You know why they got into this beef? So they got into this beef because one's like, he doesn't like us old ladies anymore. And the young one's like, that's fucking your problem.
Right.
And then the fight ensues. I don't know. I mean,
No, but it really ensued over killing the girl.
well, I mean, that was part of it too.
I think that was
Like he did. You know, when you
main
get drunk and you get into a fight like with somebody, and it's just like it started out for a good reason, but then like ultimately the punches are thrown because like somebody said Cosby sucks.
Sure.
Oh, well, I should have not used Cosby as a.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
In 2004, when we were hanging out, you'd be upset if somebody said Cosby sucks.
I don't think I'd be that upset.
Ghost Dad?
I would be very upset.
So, Master tells Torgo it's time to die. Shows up at the house.
Yes.
Where Torgo's still hanging out for some reason.
He's not hanging out. He's fucking sleeping. Dude.
He's passed out in a corner.
I've never seen anyone sleep more uncomfortably. Did you notice that?
He sleeps.
That's the most uncomfortable position I've ever seen.
I've blacked out in better positions.
Agreed.
And then Torgo is like willingly sleeping.
My 21st birthday, I woke up in a Burger King hat on a stairwell. And it still looked
more comfortable than this. And we get like the weirdest death scene of all time, which is the Master doing another ceremony, holding up his hands, and you think Torgo's dead because it's like the most elaborate scene I've ever seen in this movie. Not ever.
Yeah, I would hope that.
It's not very elaborate at all, actually. The guy is using his cape to block somebody.
Oh, did we mention this guy's fucking cape? It's just two big hands.
It's just two giant hands. Because Manos.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
And he just like waves his rake in front of his face, and then is like,
It's not a rake.
"What's a hand rake?
Fucking hand. Yeah.
What else is a rake but a giant hand?"
I guess you're right. I have nothing to say about that.
I'm just saying.
That's fine.
I'm just saying.
I concede.
What is it? What is a rake if not a
All
giant
right,
hand?
I'm with it. It's a rake.
Okay. That's what Famous Man said that once.
Who said that?
No one, me.
Okay.
So we cut back, women are still fighting. And Torgo's not dead.
He's not dead.
There's this elaborate death scene with Torgo, but Torgo is not dead whatsoever. Torgo is Torgo is Torgo is should we wait?
Hope he just keeps doing it the rest of the show. Just pulling the Grandpa Simpson. Is your name Bart?
Walking in her rotation.
Is your name Paul?
Hey, tell that man to stop sitting on the floor. Who's that gentle giant sitting on the floor? So, what were we going to say? Master tells Torgo it's time. I'm so fucked up now. So Torgo's still alive. So that whole ceremony at the house was nothing.
Right.
But then Torgo is now at the
He's about
tomb.
to be dead very soon.
He's about to be very dead. Huh? Oh, and in real life, as Joe said. They tie up, he ties up one wife that he's going to kill.
Yeah. Slaps her with the rake.
Slaps her with the rake. Lays out Torgo.
He does.
And then he's like, "Get 'em, girls." I mean, he doesn't say that, but he's like, he says something much more eloquent.
He looks like somebody to say it.
Yeah, dude, with that mustache.
Yeah.
Get 'em. I'm a little too tipsy to like do that voice. I'm trying to do like a old mobster voice. Get 'em,
That was
get 'em,
terrible.
gals.
That's good. That's better.
Get 'em,
better. You're getting there.
So the women, the wives, they jump on him, right? Mm-hmm. And they just start rubbing his face.
They do. He's like,
They are literally just like hands on his face. I mean, which is disgusting. I wouldn't want that many people touching my face, but these women are just like this, rubbing his face. And they're like, the master's like, "Yes, kill him, kill him." It's cool. What'd you get? What'd you order?
Comes back. I forgot. I'd be so happy.
Oh, you forgot my Jerry. What was I going to say? Oh, we get another prayer at the thing. Torgo is still not dead. After all that massaging, and because he's like,
How shocking.
the women are screaming like, "That's enough!" Like it's like madness. And then Torgo just like gets up and is like, "Ugh." And then the master takes his hand, touches it to a giant stick coming out of fire.
Yeah. Then burns up.
And then Torgo, it appears Torgo disappears and his hand lights on fire and the master's holding the remainder of the hand.
It does appear that way.
However, upon second viewing, I watched this twice, unfortunately. Torgo is like running through the woods in the back scene. Did you notice that the first time you watched it?
I did not. No.
Like, Master's like, ah, and like holding this guy's hand like he killed him. Like, I thought he disappeared and the hand was left. But in the background, Torgo is running through the woods with like handless, like his sleeve is up.
I did not notice
It's
that.
insane. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. So they tie. Oh, and after that, he slaps the wife.
With the rake.
No, with his hand.
It wasn't the rake hand?
No, it was just his hand.
Oh, okay.
He's just like, you wife.
All right, hands just rakes.
Cool. This is when the wife's like, yo, this wife's like, dude, like Torgo doesn't listen to you. Why the fuck am I going to listen to you?
Right.
Which I wouldn't say if he just ignited Torgo's hand on fire and ripped it off his person, but she did. But then she got slapped to death.
Slapped to death.
On the face, on the cheek.
Quite a feat.
On the cheeks, slapped to death. The family's trying to escape. Forgot all about them. I was way more focused on Torgo.
You're right. They've been out of the picture for quite
That's
a while.
because the dad's been tied to a tree in the woods. For no reason. Torgo tied him to a tree earlier. Not entirely sure why. I mean, I guess to get the wife. That's fine. But so family's trying to escape. And now all of a sudden, the mom, who nothing has happened to her, really, is like, I can't run. It was like you at Universal yesterday.
I was not that bad. I was just tired of standing.
Joe's feet hurt pretty
I
bad
was
yesterday. He was a little
my
upset.
shoes are shitty.
He was like barely walking yesterday. And I was like carrying him. Like, we gotta go
none
on.
of this is
We
true.
gotta go on,
I don't
Joe.
know.
No, I was too drunk.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So, but she can't even walk now.
Right.
And then the dad's like, well, why don't we just go back to old Torgo's house?
Great plan.
Great plan. Because even though they're like, yeah, Master's looking for us out in the woods. He'll never look for us in.
That is what he said.
The house,
That's
yeah.
literally what he said.
Yeah.
Like, let's go back to their house.
Yeah.
They'll never find us there.
Yeah, because they're looking for us out here. And guess what? They open the front door and Master is standing in the house.
In his home.
In his home that he owns. Weird scene where the mom tries to shoot Master. Nothing's affecting him.
Yeah.
Fade out. Is that the end?
Of course not.
Of course
we would not
We've
be
got
so
like,
fortunate.
We've got like 10 minutes and one long car ride left. Where it's two lovely ladies driving a Cadillac for 10 minutes being like, why does it rain?
Wait, can we just talk about when they pushed Torgo off his like altar?
Sure. Torgo's standing on the altar, sitting laying.
He's laying on the altar and those two girls push him off and he breaks that fall with his fucking face.
He does. There's no stunt double here. And he's wearing prosthetics on his knees, which probably shattered his kneecaps. But yeah. And fun fact, we got an email from the writer of Orlando Weekly who wrote a piece about this event, and he said that the son of the director of Manos
Yes.
was like looking for us.
Yes. He heard me talk about it.
Needed to contact us immediately. And to like get like, he's like, can I pass along your contact information? And I was like, I guess. So if he's here, I don't think he is. This could be
Tim.
Dude, did you hear that? It's the guy that's walking back and forth, ruining the show.
I'm so happy.
I'll
I think my life.
Because it started after we bashed the movie. He's like, son of a, that's it. I'm gonna just walk back and forth. These guys seem easily distracted. Let me see if this will work. Oh, it does.
It does.
They stopped talking.
Turns out it
They
does.
stopped talking immediately. So family. Oh wait, we already talked about that. So there's two ladies driving for a very long time. They drive. See, this is where I don't mind the movie. They drive
The
past.
last 10 minutes?
They drive past the makeout people, and you're like, oh shit.
I was not like that.
The Master's a tourist trap. So they drive in, they get to the house, Actually, I hate this ending so much. And then the door opens.
That's dickhead dad.
It's Michael. So like Torgo when Torgo introduces himself, he's like, "Hi, I'm Torgo." Like, and you're like, "Oh shit, this is weird." Like this guy's legs look fucked up.
You look at his face.
He looks like a lunatic, and you're like,
Talks with a twitch.
This is scary. Like, right? This sets up a mood. Michael walks out and he's dressed like an accountant. He's wearing a sweater vest. And like a button-up shirt, and he's just like, "Hi, I'm Michael."
It's not terrifying at all.
And he says, "Welcome," and then we see the family. The wives are now, the mom's a wife,
And the daughter.
the daughter's a wife.
Which is why the director
the
got
daughter
his ass
is 5 years old, by the way. Now, personally, when I viewed it, I did not think of her as a wife. I just thought of her as like a family member.
Sure, okay.
Like she's just been brought into the
She's still murdered.
the Torgos. She's been brought into the Torgos, the clan of Torgo. But I guess she was murdered, wasn't she?
She's dead, yeah.
She's dead. And then, so she's dead. But I do see where they're saying, like, because they were all wives. And a 5-year-old wife is,
It's weird.
I've heard it's frowned upon.
I think it is.
I think it is also. And then he says, "I'm Michael. I take care of the place while the master's away."
And then it gives them an ambiguous end title.
Oh, it says "The End?" ? If that's what
Well,
you
they're
mean.
going to make a sequel starring Torgo
Well,
because his fate was left unknown.
because he ran into the woods.
Yeah.
Well, Torgo died like weeks later.
You mean the actor
There is a sequel out. It came out in May
of this year?
of this year, and I don't know why. I don't know why anyone would want to see anything else besides this. Like, I feel like even if you like this,
I mean,
like,
who watched that movie?
and was like, this needs to follow.
No, I mean, who watched the sequel?
Oh,
Because that's proving your point. Nobody else does want to watch it.
nobody wants to watch it. Yeah. You're right. So that's it, man.
Yeah.
That is Manos.
Hands the hands of fate.
The Hands of Fate,
Yeah.
starring Torgo. Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
Nah.
Do you want to talk about Valentino's again? I'll tell you all Valentino's stories, as I've promised everyone after
Me?
live shows. I'm talking to just
You're
everyone
looking
here.
right at me.
Well, because this is a show where we talk to each other.
Like I'm telling you,
I'm not sure if
I
you
was
know-
there. I remember it well.
He was there. So that's it, right?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so we'll just wrap it up. We don't
Does
need to
anyone
do
else want
everything.
us to talk about anything?
Do you want us to talk about the Halloween trailer? Or wait, what else is coming out? We already bashed Halloween. Can we talk about? No, I don't want to talk about that.
Child's Play remake is released the new Chucky.
I saw it.
I did see it.
I didn't think it looked that different, but people were like, "What the fuck?"
Okay, so I feel the same exact way. I saw someone who I respect on Instagram like, this is bullshit. Kind of looks the same.
It looks identical. Like I'm sorry. Like especially after the last two, where he looks like kind of weird.
Yeah.
He looks like super weird.
Yeah.
This was like kind of like
I was not a fan of Cult of Chucky.
That was the second of the new ones.
The newest one.
Revenge was great.
Revenge was good.
Revenge was
Yeah,
great.
it was a good return to form. Because I hated Bride, I hated Seed.
But that Chucky that they released, I was like, that looks identical. And then I saw the comment that was like, some people absolutely despise it. Some people sort of like it. And I was like, what? Like, it looks fine.
It looks fine.
But I don't think
Better
it's
than that
Chucky.
fucking asshole at Universal.
So Universal has Chucky out there. This is the best shit. Because I was like, we got to go record it. Like,
Because
we heard
it's a
nonstop
live
good
act. Fuck it.
fuck it, we'll do it live.
It's a live actor. He insults the crowd in person. And, I heard it was really. Should I pick it up?
I just want to see if it's on.
Well, that would suck.
It's on.
Okay. A little late.
Can you just... I don't want to distract them. All right, so we saw Chucky live at Universal.
Yeah, and he sucked.
Okay, well, I'll go into the details. So we had a friend that was like, $1 million of electronics in the Chucky at Universal, like a live voice actor. So he's looking at the crowd. He's got cameras, and then he can talk to you and
Like,
point
hey,
people
you
out
in the blue
Yeah,
shirt.
hey, you in the blue. And she's like, it's great. And he's voice trained, he does the voices. And I was like, sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we see it, and it's about to start as we're leaving, and we're like, let's go. And I'm like filming it. I'm like, I need to capture every moment of this. All he does is cut the worst one-liners.
Say, hey, you in the blue shirt, you're a stupid idiot.
Honestly, one of them, he was like, where are you from? Well, his voice was great, though.
Great.
He's like, where are you from? And the guy's like, London. He's like, oh, yeah? Can't wait for you to go back. And the guy's like, all right.
What are you doing? Here for work?
Yeah. And the guy's like, no. The guy's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, go work back in London. It was insane. Like, and I honestly, like, I turned to Joe and I just stopped recording. And I was like, I'm good to go. Like, I've seen enough. I don't need any more.
We walked so far over. We were like at the exit, all the way to go see that.
Yeah. It was honestly the jerk store joke.
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
The jerk store call you.
They're all out of you. They're all out of you. Like, those were his jokes. And I was like, isn't he supposed to be murdering people? Also, he has a knife in his hand while he's doing it. He's just making jokes with a knife. Like, hey. No offense to your parents.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great product.
Universal rules.
Good guys rock. 80. There you go. There's your promotion. All right. That's it. We can just talk to these people outside of this.
Fuck that.
All right. So for Joe, thank you all so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And for Joe,
this is Sean.
I'm Sean. I take care of the place while the master's away. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you guys very much.
Dissect. Movies all fucking day.
Wanna play?
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch.
Dismember.
A fucking zombie getting sliced and diced. A monster.
Mutilate. And butcher. That's it, guys.